Audio Jungle.
Is having listened and read from indigenous people over the last 6 months, I had an initial conclusion that indigenous peoples are really living in the last square meters.
I wish to reaffirm that since the enactment of the Special Autonomy Law in 2001, Papua's provinces have enjoyed an enhanced degree of autonomy and governance.
Pelapor khusus Perserikatan Bangsa-Bangsa, PBB, untuk hak-hak masyarakat adat, Dr. Albert Barume, telah melakukan kunjungan informal penting ke tanah Papua. Kunjungan ini merupakan bagian dari upaya mendengar langsung suara dan pengalaman masyarakat adat di wilayah yang selama ini menyimpan berbagai dinamika sosial, budaya, dan politik yang kompleks. Barume menemui sejumlah tokoh adat, perwakilan komunitas lokal, serta lembaga-lembaga masyarakat sipil di berbagai titik di Papua. Ia mendengar secara langsung tentang realitas yang dihadapi masyarakat adat dalam mempertahankan tanah, budaya, dan identitas mereka di tengah ekspansi ekonomi, konflik agraria, dan tantangan pembangunan yang tidak selalu berpihak pada hak-hak dasar mereka. Kunjungan ini kemudian menjadi bahan penting dalam forum global. Pada tanggal 16 Juli 2025, para pakar hak-hak masyarakat adat dari seluruh dunia berkumpul dalam sesi ke-6 MRIP, Expert Mechanism on the Rights of Indigenous People. Sebuah forum resmi di bawah Dewan Hak Asasi Manusia PBB yang secara khusus membahas hak-hak masyarakat adat secara global. Dalam forum tersebut, Dr. Barume memaparkan berbagai masalah yang dihadapi masyarakat adat di berbagai belahan dunia. Ia belum menyebut secara spesifik Papua, tetapi apa yang disampaikannya adalah masalah-masalah yang dihadapi orang Papua dan rekomendasi yang diperlukan. Ia menekankan pentingnya pendekatan berbasis hak asasi manusia, keterlibatan aktif komunitas adat dalam proses pengambilan keputusan, serta perlindungan terhadap tanah adat, yang menjadi sumber kehidupan dan identitas budaya masyarakat adat. Wakil Pemerintah Indonesia menyampaikan pandangan resmi terkait langkah-langkah yang telah dilakukan untuk menangani persoalan masyarakat adat di Papua. Pemerintah Indonesia menyampaikan kebijakan-kebijakan afirmatif, pembangunan berbasis wilayah adat, serta otonomi khusus bagi Papua. Pertemuan MRIP ke-6 ini menjadi momentum penting untuk memperkuat komitmen internasional dalam menjamin perlindungan dan penghormatan terhadap masyarakat adat, termasuk di tanah Papua. Diskusi yang berlangsung membuka ruang untuk evaluasi, koreksi, dan kolaborasi lebih luas antara negara-negara anggota PBB, masyarakat adat, dan komunitas internasional. Berikut pernyataan lengkap dari Dr. Albert Barume dan perwakilan Indonesia dalam forum tersebut.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Speaking the last, it has been a humbling experience to be a special rapporteur for 6 months, because it gives you that opportunity to listen to real human story of suffering, of very particular marginalization, of something that it's of the old age of suppression. I just want to make 2 concluding points, and one the first one I've already said it, is having listened and read from indigenous people over the last 6 months, I had an initial conclusion that indigenous peoples are really living in the last square meters of the land, because they kept pushing back for centuries, and now there is no more space to push back to. So many are reacting to any new attempt to be dispossessed. So it has a direct link with a growing trend of tensions and criminalization of indigenous peoples. Because coincidentally, there is also a growing demand for indigenous people's land. The new transition minerals, the need to protect 30% of the territory, are actually pushing outsider to want more indigenous people's land. This is a time, I think, when It's critically important. That's my second point. My second point is one of the reasons I decided to write my first report on recognitions. On recognition, because state cannot protect or deliver on rights that they don't actually recognize. And across Asia, as a continent, across Africa, many states are in a state of denial that indigenous people's rights do not depend on domestic legislation. They exist regardless of whether or not indigenous people are recognized. I thought it was necessary to try and ease the understanding for those states which are really grappling, some willing to do something, but having difficulties in understanding what actually indigenous people's rights are all about. So I really take this opportunity to thank those of you who have contributed to my two studies on recognition first and on demarcation. They have been very, very helpful. And I look forward to interacting more with all of you and engaging more with indigenous peoples, states, private sector, and other stakeholders. Thank you, Mr.
Of Papua, for example, around 70% eligible voters have casted their votes at the election. I wish to reaffirm that since the enactment of the Special Autonomy Law in 2001, Papua's provinces have enjoyed an enhanced degree of autonomy and governance. This legal framework provides a strong basis for the promotion of Papuan welfare and rights, including affirmative action for Orang Asli Papua. Under this special autonomy, Indonesia continues to implement comprehensive development initiatives focused on education, healthcare, infrastructure, sustainable development, and cultural preservation with the active involvement of local communities. I thank you.